watching Starfleet After Dark. Ooh.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Admiral Jeff Higdon, the Chief of Communications for Starfleet, filling in for our fearless leader, Steve Parley, and I am joined by the crew of the Russell Camp. Hi, Drew.
Yep.
Hi. And newly minted Brigadier General Chris Boggs.
Good evening, everyone.
Commander Kyle Hughes of an XO aboard the USS Cerberus, and Captain Richard Steele. Hi, Richard.
Hey.
Well, a lot is happening this week. I guess everybody's talking about Shatner going up into space.
Well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, Michelle Nichols did a very high altitude mission with NASA a decade or so ago.
I was I was watching the live stream, and I got to say, I got taken out a bit of disappointment when Bezos and the rest of the crew were kind of rude to Shatner. Like, he was trying to give his profound speech, and they kept interrupting him, shaking wine bottles, and you could see he was kind of sad about it.
Yeah, that was after the flight.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, boy. Now, well, just keep an eye out on various networks. Might see some Starfleeters there. I know of at least 2 interviews done by members of the staff on both Fox and BBC. So, but the Fox one will come maybe in a little bit. We don't know when they're going to air the interviews that were done in conjunction with this. So it's a great opportunity. If you had the opportunity to speak to someone from the media with this. So that's why I mention it. So, well, why don't we just go around the horns? So how is everybody doing today?
Doing good.
Here. Yeah, doing good.
Anything going on? Any events you guys are going to be putting on in the next couple of months?
Tomorrow we have an event that's basically different organizations in Polk County get together, and they do like a trunk or treat for kids at one restaurant here in town. And we'll be attending that with 3 other members of our crew. Just an idea of giving candy out, talking to parents, letting them know the different types of organizations in the county. The Polk County Sheriff's Office will be there. The City Police Department will be there. The Fire Department will be there. And several local businesses. It's something, just a chance for us to do something back for the community.
Excellent. Anything going on in your direction, Richard?
Not much, because much of Alberta and a good chunk of Canada is still facing various strong restrictions against gatherings and that kind of thing. The next thing I know that is on our agenda is probably we're going to have a ship online holiday party. And then the brigade is also running a holiday party as well. And that will go out with invites relatively shortly, but it will be December. So that's what we're looking at doing next. And above that, just sort of planning various things. Now, I did arrange, in that wonderful thing of curiousness, I did pay for and arrange for my my black Marine uniform, the Class A, based on the Stewart jacket, but I'm having it custom made from scratch.
Hopefully.
Ding!
Think we can get them in the uniform?
How about you, Kyle? What's going on there?
So we are newly certified. So we're one of the newest ships in the fleet. And so one thing on our docket is we are planning a commissioning ceremony. And same thing with, as Richard was mentioning, we're in Region 10 in Alberta as well. So the COVID restrictions are what's hindering that mostly, because we want to get together, have a party with our crew, but also live stream a ceremony so the region that we're located in and the rest of SFI can put faces to names. So we want to throw a shindig, but we're just waiting for the right opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And then that aside, hooray for us. That aside, we are connecting with some local hobby comic book shops, talking about doing some kind of presentations and engagement with those local communities, right? Trying to find more Trekkies, or at least people that think they might be Trekkies.
Yeah, that's good recruiting and good times for both those, all of you. How about you, Chris? Got anything coming up?
Well, our next chapter meeting for the USS Blackstone is coming Monday, and we're offering it in-house so that folks can meet face-to-face, but also we offer Zoom to our chapter members. We're coming off of just having had two major conventions almost back to back here in September, and we brought in 27 new members to the chapter based off of both of those conventions, and so we're trying to build our base up and get those folks acclimated and ready to go with the things that are going on. A lot of stuff around here has been canceled because of COVID and that sort of thing. But right now, our chapter, besides doing our chapter meeting, we're planning on going to the Arkansas State Fair sometime within the next week, and having a day with our chapter members going. So should be fun. But past that, it's anybody's guess what will happen next. There's a lot in November and December that we have coming up, so we're excited.
Wow, that's right. And most of you might have seen the announcement today. The newest episode of Starfleet at Large premiered today, and we've got to thank the man, Ed Tunis, for getting that done for us. It looks like it's a really great thing. It's about cosplay this month. It's because of Halloween and stuff coming up. Some people giving us tips and background on their cosplay. I really enjoyed interviewing them there for this particular one. And we're looking at doing some really great stuff for the next two episodes coming up. Episode 5 and 6 coming up this year, especially 6 in December. We're going to here aboard the Blackhawk. We're celebrating our 25th year as a chapter of Starfleet. And,
Congratulations!
We know what you mean when you do a commissioning ceremony. We did ours at the Shiloh National Park. We were, of course, the USS Shiloh at that time, and that was fun. So you're going to have some fun time. I participated in at least one or two live. I say or two. My formal commissioning at Mid-South Com 30, which we did, plus what we call the christening or the commissioning ceremony. The christening ceremony, we actually had a model made, and we actually poured water over the bow as a form of christening. So that was quite unusual. But I've seen others online that do ceremony, and on 2 occasions I had the pleasure of sending greetings on their commissionings. 2 of them, one being a chapter in Washington State, which we here the Black Hawk was a mothership for, and another that we were friends of, and they asked me to participate by sending them some sort of reading, and that was great to do that for them. Otherwise, this is going to be a busy time for a lot of the fleet, especially Steve and his, planning for the next year. All of us are doing next year. Just a reminder, though, that the next issue, CQ, I think it was this last CQ. I can't remember the number, but it was issued 208. That's right. It is now in the database. Go to the database and get it, read it. It's a great read. The next CQ, that's 209, which is at the end of this year, your stories, pictures, anything you want to add to it, just email it in by December 15th to starfleetcq@gmail.com. And that's the best way to communicate with the editor, Dennis Rayburn. So just want to make sure everybody gets their information there. And also for Starfleet at Large, let's remember that. Go to starfleetatlarge@gmail.com to send in your information, or even if you would like to see someone or yourself be a part of that. Starfleet at Large has been in the planning stage about a year before we actually premiered in, I believe, June was our first time. And it looks like it's a success. So we're going to keep on going with it. Wow. Anybody else got anything going on?
Well, if your area is hot during the summer like ours, we finally figured out a summer uniform so that we're not killing ourselves in the middle of July. So basically it has our emblem on a pocket so that we can put business cards in and hand them out at the recruiting event.
That is an excellent idea there. Yeah. Having lived down in Mississippi myself, knows how it can get hot. I've been to Florida, and I've never been to a place hotter.
Guys, just so y'all know, let one of the regulars know if you want to come on camera. All are welcome. So just let one of us know, Ed, Jeff, want me or Drew, and we'll get you in on the stream.
That's right. We got enough room here for more. This is one big happy party, I think.
So as I mentioned on my Facebook reply, I'm still pretty new to SFI myself. And so I was looking through the Quartermaster, and I do got to say on this subject, the Quartermaster is missing some of that nice Ryzian swimwear.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that people want to pocket.
Well, you can get it custom made through an affiliate of our Quartermaster. I'm sure that Steve will tell you all about it when he gets back from wherever he is.
Jane, we actually do this every other Friday.
First and third.
First and third Friday, usually around 10 p.m. Central Time. It's always the Commander Starfleet's time zone that we go for, except when we're holding IC in a different time zone. In Louisville was in the Eastern time zone. Tallahassee is going to be in Eastern. When we had it here in Rockford, it was in Central, of course. St. Louis was Central. Minneapolis, St. Paul was Central. Dallas was Central. So
we are a little bit short on people.
Yeah. I thought we were having. Oh yeah.
Come and join us, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit that I was really surprised. We did one of the few events we did this year was an event with the Military Museum here in Calgary, and because of the nature of the event, I was wearing my BDUs, and I have the summer ones, the Rip Soft or whatever it's called. And despite the fact it was black and it was about 25, 26, and I was in the sun almost all the time, yeah, I was relatively cool given the fact I was wearing pants and a jacket with full long sleeves in it. And
I gotta find mine. I've got to find mine. I do have some BDUs like that, but they have the old rank insignia still on them.
Yeah, I had to buy 10 bars just so that I had bars for all my shirts. That's what happens. Somebody sits there and goes, "Yeah, sorry, you did a really good job on this thing at the event." And, you know, Admiral Paul Reed sat there and said, "Yeah, you've done such a good job. You're captain now." So, yeah. And once I get the dress uniform, that will be, I think almost all my bars will be used on shirts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when your shirt with the bars starts flipping outwards, you know you've got too many on there. That's why you work really hard so that you can get promoted. So you go back to having one. It's just a different color, because that's pretty much what happened to me. I've had 5 for so long, and now I only have 1, but it's gold.
Yeah, well, we did that too to our brigade OIC, Derek France, and got him promoted to brigadier general at the event when we had our regional conference.
Right.
Well, our mustard actually is where he got promoted.
Yeah.
So,
well, my problem is I can't get any more bars. So, hello there. My problem is I can't get any more bars. So,
today.
Hello there.
Hello.
My problem is I can't get any more bars. So.
When you're not talking,
delayed feedback. Hello, Jesse.
Hello there. Yep, finally getting the tech set up.
So is anything going on in your area of interest? These guys have already gone over their stuff. You got anything in your area going on you want to talk about, Jesse?
I think he's
still.
Just
a second, figuring out the echo effect.
Oh, okay.
I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank Tiffany for her wonderful input so far in the show, and I have to recognize my fellow Canadians, Kyle and Tiffany, when we're on the show together, because I am developing a very strong reputation to being like a very strong, opinionated Canadian.
There we go. That should be much smoother.
So, Jesse, what is happening in your area of wherever you are?
I'm down in the Tampa Bay area of Florida.
He's about an hour from us.
Yep. And let's see. Our mothership was the USS Victorious under Mark Anderson. So that right now I'm just kind of rebuilding our chapter. I've been putting a lot of work into our Discord server. Just trying to build up the social. We've got our minimum numbers. I'm working on getting my EXO to be certified with all the command requirements. But everything should be up to speed by the end of the month. And we've got a little convention down in Fort Myers, HeroCon. And 2 of our members are planning on being out there.
Sweet. Yeah, yes. That's what I would say, sweet. You guys in Facebook, pay attention to this part here. We'd really like to know who you are.
So Wade Portress in the chat there, he's our chief medical officer and our I'm sorry, Wade, I can't quite remember the designation of title from Starfleet Medical.
Assistant Surgeon General for
Assistant
Region
Surgeon
10.
General. Yes, Region 10.
Well, welcome.
So for context, if anyone's curious, I believe it's our hockey teams, our two cities, the Chinook versus the Cerberus, are playing tomorrow night.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
It's in response to Shane, it's been years since I went to Wizard World, and just after the first Wizard World that I went to, the next year was I had to go to IC that same weekend, so I couldn't go to the second one. But after that, there was a change in policy, which has changed back, I've heard. So, are you at Wizard World, Shane? You're not at Wizard World? Regardments, okay. No, 2 years ago, I believe people from USS Wisconsin in Region 6 did that. Went to it. You know if they were going? Does anybody know who's going to Wizard World in Chicago?
Not it.
I know nobody on this end knows.
One of my new recruits is planning on being out there.
In Chicago at the Rosemont?
I mean, she's not staying at that hotel, but she is planning on being at that convention.
Oh, yeah. And it's an excellent convention. Being there that one time, I really enjoyed that. I wish I could have gone the next year. It's about an hour's drive, not even an hour's drive to Rosemont. So I would have enjoyed to go again if I had the chance. And a lot of conventions are coming up in the next few months that are open, and a lot of them are also. I noticed this with the New York Comic-Con that was done 2 weeks ago. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. They did a virtual version of it at the same time. It was, I believe they did it at a specific time. So, I mean, San Diego Comic-Con did it.
They have been doing a lot more virtual stuff since COVID started.
Right. And this year they had the live, and they added some, I know that San Diego did mostly online, virtual. But there are things like the Star Trek Con that happened in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. They also did a virtual. So I don't think we're going to get rid of the virtual.
I think it's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having even if it's just a few hours, is smart for it. And if they can get some big names for those things, that is the virtual section, that would be a plus in my book.
Oh, yeah. I've been involved with the Seventh Rule started by Sirach Lofton and Aaron Eisenberg. And then with Ryan T. Huss, they've been doing the virtual Trek Con and kind of help explode all this. I didn't get in on it until the virtual Trek Con 2 during the COVID shutdown. But I've been enjoying those a lot. And yeah, getting those big names and the trends, and now they're doing these review shows for all of these new Trek, which is just amazing. And we're almost to the point where we're going to have 2 new Trek series every single week.
Yeah, I believe next week starts Discovery again. And in 2 weeks, they're going to start Prodigy.
I have hopes for Prodigy.
No, Did Discovery get moved up? I thought they weren't until November.
Well, maybe it is November.
I know Prodigy is definitely on the. They've been advertised on the 28th.
So it says it starts on Paramount Plus November 18th.
So soon.
Yeah.
Yay.
Just before Thanksgiving.
Now somebody said the Starfleet Con in Vegas.
You're right. 18.
They changed that name. I can't remember what it's changed to because they no longer have the Star Trek license.
Yeah, it was a 55 mission because it was the 55th year.
Yeah, so they couldn't say Star Trek. They just said the Star 55 mission, and there's an official Star Trek Con someplace else. I can't remember the name of the company. But they announced that on the official podcast about a month ago or so.
Yeah, I remember that as well.
The next official one that I'm aware of that I believe he's the one who put me on to After Dark, John Hardy. He's the CEO of the USS Essex. Is Destination Star Trek London is only 3-4 weeks away. And so I know he's attending that. He's going to be excited. So I just wished I could have hopped on a plane and gone across the pond because it's Voyager's 25th. And it looks like they have almost the entire cast that are going to be in attendance.
That's awesome.
So if
and
anyone...
look at that. Ed got the 56-year information already.
Excellent. That's for next year. So you want to go to that? I if I could, I would. I'm going to have a hard time trying to make it over to the IC next year. So that's my aim, to be at IC and hopefully meet a lot of you there.
Yeah,
there it
IC
is
up in the
Chicago.
air.
Yeah, IC is still being talked about. Whether it's
so April 8th is James put it up, is the Star Trek, the official one in Chicago.
Okay. That's a separate one from the Comic-Con, too. People sometimes get them mixed up because they do have a lot of Star Trek
I think it's
on there. But
Tallahassee, Florida.
So IC is going to be great. Especially if it's Wade and Linda Olson as part of that crew and a few other people that I know of.
That's a
Remember those
fantastic
days?
trailer.
It sounds more ragtime than actual 20s jazz.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. Having listened to it twice today, it feels much more like ragtime. But
So James posted Starbase Indy in 2021 November
Only a few
26th
weeks from now. Yeah.
in Indianapolis. We've got the Star Trek Cruise 5 on February 26th to March 5th, and Destination Star Trek London Friday, November 12th through the 14th.
Excellent.
Have any of you gentlemen or anyone on the chat participated in the cruises? I've heard a lot of great things about the cruises, but I haven't had an opportunity to go myself.
Not directly. I know people, my former crew members and stuff from past clubs have been, but I've never had the chance myself.
I know our brigade OIC has gone a couple times on to the Star Trek cruise. Derek France, he has some interesting stories from that at various points in time. But yeah, that's the person I would tap in my region if I wanted to know more about the cruise.
So I know that with COVID, a lot of volunteering has dwindled. And I got tapped to teach in about 2 weeks some survival skills to kids and through church. And they told me that 8 states are sending 200 people to the event. So nice thing is it's starting to ease up enough that we can go back to somewhat of a normalcy. So start looking for your volunteering stuff and start reporting it. That way it's nice to see, hey, a bunch of Starfleet people out doing good in different organizations.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I'll be teaching survival skills to teenagers.
To go back to like 3 posts ago for Wade when he thanked me for my assistance in the servicing commission. You're welcome. But I didn't miss it. I just didn't have a good opportunity to throw it in. So.
Well, here's a good reason to be on, to get your messages to old friends that show up for our broadcast. McCoy mentions the Captain's Summit Expo in 2021, which is going to be happening at the end of the month in October in Cantil, California.
I'm not familiar with what the Captain Summit is.
I am not either. Maybe James can let us know what it's all about. Star Trek convention at the Caesars Forum, August 25th to 28th in Las Vegas of next year. So that should be a great time for all that go to it.
Oh, yeah.
There was a comment earlier that it just alluded to what has sparked all the interest for all these Star Trek shows up and coming at the same time. And, whether you love the new Trek or don't like it, for me, I'm always in the love it camp just because I remember that dark age in like 2004 when Enterprise stopped. And there was nothing until the JJ movies. That was missing a part of my soul. So I'm really thankful that there's all this new stuff.
Movies.
If you think about it, there really hasn't been much sci-fi period outside of comic book movies because Stargate closed up. You had Andromeda closed up. Battlestar Galactica closed up. You were sitting there with nothing for 5 years now, and all of a sudden you got Discovery.
Yeah, then you start getting the flood.
the Michael Burnham show.
Hey, John.
I
Hey,
see the
John.
vampire.
Is that you, John?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. We're seeing the top half of your head.
I'm not sure who the other person is.
Right. That's Shane Russell. Hi, Shane.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Hey, Shane.
Nobody
Shane
knows.
Russell.
You guys-
That's
Hi.
John, we were earlier saying how jealous we were of you because you're going to Discovery London.
Yeah, well, yes, so yeah, no. A few stars are coming.
So yeah, we were all jealous.
Yeah, so we have to ask the magical question. What time is it in your time? Where you at?
4:30
In the morning.
In the morning, yeah.
John, you missed the scotch last week.
That's right.
Antoinette, it's good to see you on
Saturday.
our chat base. She was one of the two people I got to interview for Starfleet at Large. Real pleasure to talk to her. Yes, they are. Yes, you are. I can tell that. Hope you can give us a great report on that.
That's true.
Thanks for the info, James.
Yeah, that's the man who never sleeps. I'm sure he
Doesn't.
sleeps.
Or he sleeps at night because he's a vampire. But,
Well,
At night,
during the
Man,
day,
the myth, the legend.
whatever.
I can tell you he was up less than 4 hours ago. I saw his post.
oh, I've had those nights where I've had to stay up overnight. It's not because I'm going to join someone's broadcast. It's because of I'm getting older. So
Nah.
I'd
We're
like to.
becoming vintage, Jeff.
Huh?
We're becoming vintage.
There you go.
I got bad news for you guys. You already are vintage.
I love you too, bud.
Admiral, I want you to know that you haven't aged a day since the day that I met you.
I saw a post from my brother. My brother,
Well
who's
done,
just about a year and a half
Well
younger
done.
than me. He called himself old. I'm going, wait, talk about yourself, kid.
I don't discuss age with my brother. Or my brothers, actually.
Yeah. Well, I have two brothers and three sisters. All of them fans of Star Trek, but not of Starfleet. Been trying to talk them in for years about it. So.
You know, technically, vintage is worth more than classic.
You're
Absolutely.
right.
It's true.
Classic
argue that.
typically is a rust bucket. The vintage is short.
Jeff and I have the advantage that this crazy and silly and stupid stuff we did never got recorded to Facebook.
It only exists in somebody's memory.
Yes.
I
See,
graduated
now I
right
feel bad
before
for the
you did.
Cerritos crew because you know all of their hijinks are getting recorded.
Right.
Not
Isn't
that
that what we
often.
watch?
Oh wow. Your past vintage, your classics. Wait a minute. We were saying we're past classics, we're vintage.
We're vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Vintage is worth more, Jeff.
We're original series compared to everybody else.
Oh, there you go.
So Jesse in February, look up on Facebook Bartow Sci-Fi.
Yes.
Bartow.
And the Haven and the Russell Camp will be out there. You're welcome to come and join us.
Come on down.
It's not far, so people come from Tampa area anyway, so you might as well come and join us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Last year we had
I'd
several
love to
people
come down
from
there,
Miami.
but I'm in Illinois. Northern Illinois.
Y'all are welcome.
On the border.
I've visited up there.
Like
my,
that's
my
north.
day job is Renaissance festivals, so
Uh-huh.
I've done a lot of traveling. I've been to meetings at like the USS Corsair, the UMAC out in St. Louis. And I used to do the Bristol Renaissance Festival up there on the Wisconsin-Illinois border.
Have you ever been to Stronghold Castle?
No, that one I haven't made it to.
Yeah, it's now run by I believe either the Presbyterian or Methodist Church. So,
Is the Clearwater one still running for like 3 months straight?
So sort of. This last year was out in Dade City, because of COVID, moving dates and everything. It's been in Tampa proper since 2002, and it's a 6-weekend show.
I knew it was a long show.
Yeah, and it's usually in the spring, like February, March, ending in April. But we started mid-April this year because of the COVID restrictions and everything.
They moved this year, right?
Yeah, but maybe temporarily. I mean, there's no official whether it's going to make it back to Tampa.
That's good.
What's up, Joel?
Hi, Joel.
Hey, Joel.
good evening, Joel.
Hey, Joel.
Campanio.
Hey, Kyle, you gonna hit Vulcan next year?
We should.
I definitely am planning on it. So, interestingly enough, I was going through some old photo albums, and I actually found my first Star Trek uniform, and actually my only Star Trek uniform up until joining SFI, from when I was 10 years old. And that's also the same year that I went to Vulcan for the last time. So I think a trip down to Vulcan is well overdue.
Well, we'll coordinate if there isn't the con, we'll coordinate to go down. Maybe where the
Which one is that? Is that the one in Florida?
Alberta.
Vulcan, Alberta.
Is that the one down in Florida?
Vulcan is a little town in Alberta that has that replica Constitution 2 class starship.
It's true.
Yep.
They also
Gotcha.
have a municipal bylaw that says an employee within the town's limits is allowed to show up for work in Star Trek costume and not be penalized.
There's a very
move there.
There's a very nice bus of Captain Spock also in Vulcan.
I heard that you're allowed to do that at NASA too.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've known some people.
Know that.
I've known a few engineers that work at NASA, and they have these days where they all just show up in Starfleet uniforms.
Wouldn't that be great, Jane?
I mean, I personally want to go back to NASA and just start handing out cards. Join.
I don't think that would happen anytime soon, though, Jane. I'm sorry to say. The reason is quite simple. Even though we've got a growing membership in all parts of our great world, the majority of them here are in the United States, and I'm sorry it's like that. But we need to push our international members. What do you think of that, John? You think we can get more members in, say, across the channel from you?
If we can get good IC, I think we can do. What I'm planning to do, if we get business cards done for the Essex, and bung down DST on the table at DST in the bar. There's about 10 hotels around the place where people are using, so
Yeah.
in that way.
My friend Eric Johansson, Jane, has threatened to come and pick me up so I can take a trip up there. So, hey, I might show up there.
If it costs $56 to send a commission plaque to Canada, think what it would cost to send me to Canada.
Oh.
Human beings are easier because you don't have to buy as much insurance.
Yeah, and they've opened up a border, but it's like limited. You have to have your shots, your vaccination shots, and you can't go across the border without a pepper spray. No, if you have pepper spray, you can get arrested.
You can.
Yes, because we don't have that here.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have bear spray?
I was just watching a
Yeah, but
nomad going
your
on.
requirements to have bear spray are to be outdoors in bear country.
Mm-hmm.
Like there
Is
are
it
rules.
Canada all bear country?
No.
No,
Wait.
no.
There's bears
But
here.
yes, but no kind of thing.
You
There's a
got to be
large
in the
chunk of
country,
Canada.
part of the country the bears prefer to be in.
Well, in all honesty, downtown Orlando, my pastor used to live there, and he came home and there was 2 bears sitting in his hot tub.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
it does.
I mean,
Florida.
what was it? One I heard one got in the pool one time. A moose, deer, that kind of stuff.
There was a story at the beginning of COVID when everything kind of shut down. So a grocery store didn't have as much traffic. So they were kind of being more nonchalant when they were loading things up. And this just moose in BC just walks in through the loading bay and starts gorging on all the food. It's just the most delicious thing there. He's just walking around, sampling everything.
You can't stop a moose.
No.
Sure you can. It takes a 50 cal.
Yes. And that is it. And that is it. So unless you happen to have a 50 cal, which in Canada not many people are going to have, or like, you know, a 4.48 nitro or something like that.
270 of that.
I got one, but it's black powder and flintlock for the pirate festivals down here.
I think
But it
next
is
year.
50 caliber.
I think next year the camp will go to Renfest in Starfleet uniforms.
There you go.
Running around with tricorders going crazy. What the hell?
They pull their swords out. You pull out your phaser.
Yep.
They're definitely welcome, and I know at least in my booth when I'm out there, I've usually got a comm badge hidden on my uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Last year is the first one we've missed in the last 7 years.
Oh my! Hey Shane, what's going on around the Moline area and the Starfleet Marine Corps Academy?
Okay, so as far as Moline goes, we got a new bridge. They finally did one side of it, but the other side, it should be, I think, done by spring. Sorry, my blood sugar is so low. And then we just had the fair a couple months ago, and then we do the. I'm doing the screen cleanup. They're doing a. They're doing a data collection of various pollution areas. So we got that going on. I think what else? We just had the Quad City Marathon that happened not too long ago. And then I had a couple guys with me. We took a weekend. We went up to Riverside, Iowa. Not sure if anybody's familiar with that. And then we went to Murphy's Bar to find the plaque, even though I've seen the plaque before, because they'll vary depending on what time of year it is, whether they stick the plaque where James T. Kirk's birthplace is supposed to be, where he was conceived, either under the pool table or on the shelf. So it's always a trick every time I go up there. And I try to go up there 2-3 times a year just trying to look for the plaque. It's like a scavenger hunt. Like, where'd it go? Because it'll be there. One time it was on behind the bar. Another time it was on the wall. So we're going to make a big joke out of it. Like, let's see where it's at. And then we just go to like the different spots. And then to the future birthplace where it's at. They got that little monument that's behind it. I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but it's real funny because the monument where they have the future birthplace of James E. Kirk is right behind a beauty salon. So I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but it's real funny. The beauty salon is small, but it's just kind of ironic. So we did that, and then we went the other night. We went and saw the new James Bond movie. I took a couple guys with me, JD, and a couple other people locally that are in the chapter. We went and watched the James Bond movie. It was pretty good. And then as far as the Marine Cutter goes, and then As our brigadier general can tell you, we're trying to get the various courses updated and get those into Moodle. Chris has been working his keys off, so I really want to appreciate him. Kind of shout out Mike Timbo, Timko, excuse me, Mike Mallett. They've been pushing a lot of the courses to get those updated in the Moodle, and then me, Chris, and we've been working with TJ Allen to get the manuals updated to make sure that they're compliant. So it's a lot of busy work. I finally got some stuff to where I can actually get time to put stuff in the database. They want to make sure that when they're uploading the ones from, say, let's say, for example, thanks for posting that. When we were down and unable to use the database to input grades, I think it was like maybe 13, 14 months, give or take. I may be wrong on my numbers, but we weren't able to put those into the database. And then after we got the ability to use it again, and I'll let Steve talk about the whole database thing because I don't know everything about it, so I'm going to stay out of that lane because it'll be done soon, as I think what Steve likes to say about it, so I'm going to let that go. But Comp Ops was
Nobody asked about it.
Nope, I'm just putting it out there because I know it's coming as soon as I start talking about grades. So we're not going to touch that one. But they want to make sure that the SCC numbers and the data is updated, and that it's actual person. So I started putting some of the PD and some of the other grades in there after I checked in the database each individual person. But TJ wanted me to make sure that we let Comp Ops do that because they're checking on the backside. So I kind of had to stop as far as inputting grades in there. So a lot of the PD courses you guys see in there, and not say nothing about negative about TJ or Comp Ops or anything. That's their rule. I just got to do with it. But I'm going back to trying to update various ribbons and things like that to get those updated in the system. But as far as a lot of the courses that we had from before, we were using the Google Sheets, which is secured. But I can't. I kind of got told, and I totally get where they're coming from, that we have to like Comp Ops verify the individual SCC numbers and stuff like that and make sure it's an actual person. So for you guys that see PD grades, and I think A and a couple of the other groups that I did, thanks, Joel. I appreciate that. It's not that I'm blowing you off or ignoring you or totally not thinking you guys' concerns are not important about getting those grades in, but I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to work with the system. So if you guys don't see them there, I still have them, but I'm going back checking ribbons. So if you don't see it there, you guys should have the certificates. If you don't and you're missing it or you need it regenerated, please reach out to me or Chris or the individual directors, and we'll check those and get those out. Okay. And while I got you here, everybody, sorry. If you guys have concerns, I do my best to try to answer everybody right away. But you guys have the directors. If you guys don't get a response from the directors, you can reach me or Chris directly, and we can get follow up and chat. Anytime I get a concern, I usually loop in Chris or the individual directors also. Usually it's both, but we try to get those resolved right away. So by all means, if you don't get the answer, follow up or reach out, especially with me and Chris. That way we can get those taken care of for you. That's kind of it in a nutshell. We're working on getting those other courses updated and put in the Moodle. We're always looking for individual directors and assistant directors right now too. So that's kind of snapshot, long-winded. I apologize of what we got going on checkout right now.
That's a great update there, Shane. Thank you.
Yeah, kudos to everybody working on that database. I'll tell you what, you've come a long way in a very short time.
Yep.
And what bothered me is when everybody was saying, "What's going on with the database now?" Instead,
I'll take Fleet Admiral AMA for 400, Alex.
And the answer is, this project will be done soon.
I like
Nobody mentioned it.
You know,
until now, Shane.
Me,
and
I
you
just
get it
that question.
here, which is great. Thank you.
Yeah. So
you know, Jeff got to hear me say it a couple of times.
Oh,
yeah. When someone would hold up the card and I'd tell him, "Shut up and help." You would ask him, "Shut up and help."
Well, well, guys, it's been an hour, and I think we're gonna wrap it up right now. I want to thank each of you for being our guests here. And a big shout out to Steve, wherever he is.
Did that work?
He said he had an extended shift, so.
What?
He said he was working late.
Okay. Well, these guys are great for being there. We have John Hardy from over across the pond.
There you
Amy
go.
Russell, a few miles away from me, down in Moline area. And Kyle and Richard, both out of Canada. Oh, Canada. Jesse and the crew of the Russell Kemp III out of Florida. And of course, we can't forget Christopher Boggs, who is out of Arkansas. So we want to say our appreciations to everybody for being on and to being part of the comments that we're able to do. It's been a pleasure being with you. I'm probably going to do this again in the near future, so this won't be my last time, nor has it my first time. I had to help out one time, but Steve,
thank you for being here to babysit.
Well, if I had to babysit you, you'd all be sent to the brig.
After dark, after party on the Discord server.
Well, I want to thank you. You just got here, Steve, and it's been a pleasure being a part of your night tonight. And we will see you next time on Starfleet After Dark.
And make sure you let us know if you want to be on the next one.
That's right.